Oh yeah, we're live now. Everything's upside down.
Yeah?
We weren't ready, but we said we'd be live. And we're live. Let's flip this. Make this look good. Wait for a few seconds, see if anybody's going to watch anyway. We might not get any viewers, but if we do, we'll be ready. You can see the tripod in the picture. Who cares, right?
Hi, tripod. Is it got to be separate?
There we go.
All right.
Now we're hooked up like a tow
Come on,
truck.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, gather round.
Gather around.
The tagline I came up with. Get it? Get it? Less magic, more gathering?
Do you get it?
I get it. I came up with it.
As long as you, okay.
I did that all by myself.
All by himself.
Hey, we're doing this for the first time live.
First time. Live.
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming.
Do you have a laptop you can bring over here?
I do.
So if anybody wants to talk to us while we're doing this, you could reply to them.
I don't have wireless. I have to do it by phone.
I got... Okay. All right,
Sorry.
we'll be fine. Anyway. So, like I said, first time live. We'll see how it goes. Hope it goes well.
I hope it goes real
Don't know
well.
if we'll get any...
Come on, viewers. I know we're late. Sorry. Maybe you guys are just searching through YouTube right now and totally like, oh, there they are. They're on. Sweet.
We're on. Do we got anybody on there yet?
Not yet, but that's okay.
All right.
We'll go ahead and kick this off.
Too much time.
No. You want me to start viewing from my phone? Uh-oh, rotate device.
I don't want to.
Why is it asking to do so?
I don't know. I think we're still live though. So, this week, if you've been following the series at all, you'll know that we are on Tomb Robber for our random card deck tech this week. So, we're just going to kind of go through the motions here, see what we come up with. We didn't work on it much this weekend. Had some other things going on, so this is going to be a real life brainstorming for the most part.
Woo! So we're going to hit it hard. Let's see what we got.
So first thing we got is obviously Tomb Robber is a 3-drop human pirate creature.
Yes.
A 1/1 with menace. And it has the ability of paying 1, discard a card, and it explores.
If you don't know what Explore does, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, it goes in your hand. If it's anything else, you can leave it on top if you choose to keep it there for the next draw or put it in your graveyard. But if it is a non-land card, you get a 1/1 counter on that creature.
So I think with the mechanics here, we need to be able to take advantage of the discarding.
Yes, so graveyard play stuff.
Either I know there's a few creatures with Amonkhet that get buffs when you discard, if you discard or cycle something.
Yes.
So we should probably look and see what's available there. And then we also need to take advantage of that explore mechanic. So we'll take a look.
Well, you could do that multiple times, right? Because of the colon, you can pay 1 and discard
As
a
many
card.
times as you can pay 1
So
and
if
discard,
you
you
feel
can
like
do it.
chucking a lot of stuff. I mean, that's obviously a way to scry through your deck too. If it's stuff that you can play from the graveyard. So if you've got a handful of cards and you got 5/4 mana, whatever, and you just want to toss them to the wayside, and then get something you might need, that's a way to play this. It's a really wild way to play it, but hey, it might just do the trick.
Yeah, and we probably need to, like you said, look at ways to interact with the graveyard so that if we do discard creatures or things like that, we can get them back.
Right. I mean, we know there's a lot of artifacts out there that do at least the one artifact that does that. That would bring creatures back anyway, but that's
Which
expensive.
one?
God Pharaoh's Gift.
Oh, yeah? I hadn't even thought about that.
But that is expensive to get out there. It's a 6-drop, I think.
It's a 7.
7-drop.
Yeah, if you don't use the, what's the other one? The artifact that lets you go search for it.
Oh, I forget. I know what you're talking about. Never used it myself.
Is it Gift of the God Pharaoh?
Yeah, maybe.
No, that's God Pharaoh's Gift.
God Pharaoh's Gift. It's
the other one's completely different.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, y'all probably know what we're talking about. Maybe you can post on the webpage. We'll figure it out eventually, but still, throw something on there for us.
That'd be one way.
Yeah. Also, if we want to stick with creatures that you can embalm and eternalize, so that they're already in there, you can play them as such. They are a little more expensive, but that's okay. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah.
If you want to go that route, that's an option.
Well, let's look up. Like I said, I know there's some cards in Amonkhet that.
Do you want to look at artifact? Do you want to look at the color
Um.
and go with just that color? Do you want to swing into 2 colors, or just stick with the black right now and then see what it comes in? See what it come up with.
We can jump into 2. I know a good one would be Wild Growth Walker. Whenever a creature explores, it gets a +1 counter, and you gain 3 life.
So that's a green. Yeah, that's probably a real good combo because, I mean, if you explore with him twice in a turn, he goes up and you gain 6 life. So, I mean, that's something.
That would also be good in the black-green color combo for the enchantment.
Journey to
Eternity.
Journey to Eternity, yeah.
So we could start getting stuff back from the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, that tends to be pricey after it's flipped over because it's not like, you know, you pay 2, but you put anything back on the field from the graveyard. So it doesn't really matter at that point what you get rid of. So that's an option since we already got a green black. That's one. We'll leave that one as what the colors we're searching for right now. If we decide to change our minds because something else becomes a better option, we can always switch it. But that's the whole point of brainstorming, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep with it, but that's a good start. I like it.
What's the other one that when you explore? I think it's a black. When you explore, it gives -2. Target creature gets -2/-2.
I don't know what that one is. Why am I not thinking it?
Chupacabra.
No, that one comes into field of play, kills.
That's
there's another chart. There's the original Chupacabra. I don't know. I haven't seen that one. I know what you're talking about, but I've never used it, so I'd have to look it up.
Do you have your app there where you can look stuff up?
Yeah. What do you want me to look up? The black green.
Search in black green and artifacts maybe for when you explore, or if you explore.
Explore probably is all I need to put into that search option. The artifact. This one is not. This app's it's just a card search type of app. So you got Deadeye Tracker. He's also one. He's a exile 2 cards from an opponent's graveyard. Deadeye Tracker explores. He's a 1-drop. He's a rare. He's pretty useful. You have to pay 2 obviously and tap him. So that's one way to use that. You're not putting anything in the graveyard for that explore, so that's something. Which one were we looking for? Lurking Chupacabra, 4-drop. Whenever a creature you control explores, target creature an opponent controls gets -2 and -2 on a turn. So it's a 4-drop, 2/3 creature. So if we're going to stick with an explore basics because of this base card we're starting with, that's going to be very beneficial and devastating to your opponent's creatures.
Yeah, you could almost have that be your removal, instead of working in removal spells, have those abilities be your removal of sorts.
That'll help.
There's another one.
And with the Deadeye Tracker, he can explore just as many times as he can. You got to pay it a little more, but
this one costs 1. What's he cost? 2?
Deadeye Tracker 1. They're both 1. Oh wait, no, this costs 2. Yes, 2 and mana cost. So 2 to explore.
So that might not be bad.
And that's also beneficial to if you're playing some turd that's doing graveyard stuff like you, but has more, has a better plan. Like you
can get stuff out of your
you can start graveyard. Dropping some stuff out so you can't use it.
So, what do we got? Wild Growth Walker, Lurking Chupacabra. What are the look up? The same colors. Like whenever I don't know how it's worded. Whenever you discard. Might bring it up.
Is it discard?
Yeah. The ones from Amonkhet are discard or cycle.
Okay, so and I'm sure would still apply in the word text if you put discard maybe. Whenever you discard a card from your hand, this applies. Let's check it out. Alright, so that's quite a few. Oh wait, well, somehow I lost standard search. I jumped from standard to all, or switched from standard to modern. That gave me quite a selection. Alright, so Archfiend of Ifnir.
What's he do? That's
flying. He's a 5-drop, 5/4. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponent's control. Ooh.
On each creature?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's definitely painful. And if you're doing him 2-3 times a turn, if you manage to pay that cost, then you can
Even
really...
if you're only doing it once or twice a turn, that's still, if you're doing that to all their creatures.
What other things are we going to need to do, though, in order to make this effective? Because if you start discarding stuff, you're going to run out of stuff in your hand to play or to discard.
Like I said, we got to find a way to get stuff back.
Get more stuff back in hand.
Yeah.
As well.
And the exploring all the time is going to help us refill our hand.
With land, for sure. Because land will always go in your hand. You're either going to put it in the graveyard or...
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to get you to get through your deck. It will help tremendously, but...
Because if you're skipping all your lands, then you're going to only be drawing stuff you need.
Well, if you want stuff to
and you can discard
if you
those
want
lands
stuff to explore other than these guys, do you want to do the enchantment that explores any creature? It's a pricey enchantment, but it's a good...
What is that, a 4-drop?
I don't remember. What is it called? It's in my book. I got one. Hold
Whenever
on.
a creature enters the battlefield, it explores.
Yeah, even if it's not an explore creature. So this way it doesn't have to be just the ones that are designed around it. Everybody listening to this sweet live Path of Discovery, 4-drop. Creature enters battlefield, you control, it explores. It's an excellent card.
Yeah.
And it's green, so yeah, we can do that. If that's an option, that's something we can put in there.
Yeah, even if it's just a couple copies, you know, like I said, if we can get it so that we can essentially skip all our lands as we're going through the deck, we'll be able to get to things easy.
Oh yeah. And then if you've already got land like heavy,
or if you've already got the Journey to Eternity flipped, you can just put a creature in the graveyard, bring it back right away.
Something that made me think of, you wouldn't want to spend, you probably want to keep the man in hand. I don't want to go that route. It was just an idea.
What's up?
I mean, it would help, but the Wayward Swordtooth, if you're drawing lands on a lot of explorers, and you can put them out there if you need to, but I'd rather have them for discard capabilities, I guess.
I think so. Yeah, I see what you're thinking.
But it was just a thought. Yeah,
I think that having that as a discard option is a good one too. Or the one we used in our first deck, the Raminap Excavator.
Yeah.
Where you can play your lands from your graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So we could discard all our lands we get from exploring, and then play them right back.
Well, you can play land, right? It doesn't have to be a desert, right? It could be anything, any land from your...
It just says you can play lands from your graveyard.
That couldn't hurt. I don't know if we'd go extremely heavy on it. Let's say that we did because we use
probably just a couple copies.
Yeah, just so in case we do draw it, we can use that as an option. So yeah, we can do that. I mean, it's not a horrible creature card, I don't think. I mean, it's like a 2/3.
I think it's a 3-drop.
Strength-wise, though, for like, as you know, got to get past the good old lightning strikes and some other bullshit.
Yeah. So if we do
2/3, yeah.
2/3.
Yeah.
So if we do maybe 2 copies of the Journey to Discovery or whatever it was.
Yeah, Journey
the one
to
where
Eternity.
all your creatures explore.
Path of Discovery.
Path of Discovery. We do a couple copies of that and a couple copies of the Excavator.
That'll help out.
And then we can discard all those lands we get when we explore and play them.
Pay the cost, at least for him.
Right.
For his. And even if we didn't want to, we could still, if we had creatures that... Is there any cheap... not cheap. The only reason why I say cheap is because if they're 1 or 2 drop, like creatures that you have Eternalize on or Embalm in, you can put it back on the field, but you're not paying out the wazoo to get them out there. But they're still going to be effective.
Right.
Let me check. I guess if we check, I don't know if we're going to go that way or not, but is Embalm the one that is like Eternalizes the different one? I don't know which one's which.
Embalm, it just brings it back as a token copy. Eternalize brings it back as a 4/4.
Pumps it up. Ooh, that's not bad.
We got.
That's actually that's a really good idea. Because it's cheaper. So Honored Hydra is a 6-drop, but if you discard that, when you embalm it, it's only 4 and it's a 6/6. So it's a copy of itself, right? You just not anything different. It doesn't lose its power and strength. Exile it from graveyard, cast token is a copy of that, except it's a white zombie snake Hydra with no mana cost. Embalm is a sorcery. So you get it cheaper from the graveyard if you embalm that one specifically. It's a 6/6.
Yeah,
with trample.
That would be one that we would just automatically discard.
Yeah, and then play from the So that's a good one. I mean, it's rare, but it's not very. It's the only one. It's the only embalm in the green, so that's the only option we have if that's the one I'm going to do. But that's not bad. I mean, you can't argue that if that gets in the graveyard early, and then when you get the mana production, you're like, bam, here's my 6/6. Eat it.
What do we have as far as creatures so far? I know we talked about the Deadeye Tracker.
Right.
That's a 1-drop.
So both those Deadeye What else
and
did I
the
tracker?
Tomb Robber.
Tomb Robber. Those are your
So,
two Explorer.
Let's start out assuming we're doing 4 copies of each. That's
Okay.
8.
Right.
We talked about the Wild Growth Walker.
4 copies of him.
That's 12.
Right.
And we talked about the Lurking Chupacabra. That'd be
16.
16.
So that's our general Explore base stuff. So obviously creature damage, and then of course if we went with the Archfiend of Ifnir as well, because it's the flying, has all
The
those
discard
awesome,
one.
Yeah, the discard one.
Then that would put us at 20.
Then you just did we do? Oh, so we went 4 for that too as well.
That's what I'm saying right now. Let's just assume 4 copies of each, and then we can look at some of this other stuff that we might want to throw in. Like if we're gonna put in the Honored Hydra, probably wouldn't want to throw in too many copies just because
Just
it's
a
going to be
couple.
a discard option.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, just a couple. I'd say maybe even 2, and that limits. And that puts the 22 creatures if we went that route. Is there? I mean, they're all Explore based, and the only ones that are going to change. I mean, obviously this one isn't an Explore itself, the Archfiend, and neither is the Lurking Chupacabra.
Right.
But it will come in as Explorer if the Path of Discovery is used.
We could also look at like the Jade Light Ranger.
And what's that one do again? I forget.
When it enters the battlefield, it explores. Then it explores again.
Twice, and then if the thingy's on there,
it explores again
3 times. So yeah, that would with either one of these 2 on the field of play, you just literally neutralize like your opponent's creatures.
Yeah, if you put out a Wild Growth Walker or a Lurking Chupacabra and
then
follow
play
that
this
up with a Jade Light Ranger,
with Path of Discovery on the field of play already,
you're gonna get something -6/-6, or you could do. I mean, if you got somebody that's got
a bunch of tokens or
smaller
something.
creatures out there, you could put -2/-2 on 3 different creatures, however you want to
This
do
guy
it.
just pumped up,
And you're going to gain
pumped up
3
3
life
and
every
gain
time.
9 life because there's 3 Explorers. So yeah, it's a really ugly combo. What's the twist? Do we need? Is there any other twist that we're going to need to keep the cards in hand that we use? I mean, obviously we're going to do a lot of exploring to keep them in there.
Right.
But having said that, I know how draws can be. So this doesn't explore. The only ones that do explore currently themselves are these 2.
Right.
So that kind of hinders us. This
that
helps,
one.
but you have to make sure you draw one of the 4 copies. If we put 4 of those in there, you need that out on the field of play. Or not that one, but the Path of Discovery.
I mean, if you've got these 3 as your options,
And then Path of Discovery gives everything else. It's not bad, I guess. You're bound to draw at least one of those.
right.
Okay.
And I think with that, yeah, I mean, that'd be if we ran 4 copies of each. That's 12 copies that would trigger our Explore.
Right. That's not
So-
bad. Not bad. I mean, obviously this one does itself one. These ones don't explore until you pay, but once they're out there. Okay, now having these...
This one's limited to just when it enters the battlefield.
Yeah.
These can do it all the time.
Do you
And the nice
want...
thing about something like this is if we slap that Journey to Eternity on it we had talked about, then it dies.
It flips right away.
It comes back and triggers again. So you're going to get those Explores again.
And it's a 1-drop, so you can... What does the Chupacabra do? -2 on opponent's creature or any creature? Target creature.
A creature you control explores, target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn.
I was going to say, too bad it's not target creature, because you could just waste 1 on there.
Yeah.
And get that to flip. And then you can obviously add any 1 mana of any color, and then you can return any of your creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield, which benefits the Explorer as well, because now if you pay the cost, this one comes back in and just explores all over again.
Right.
So that's pretty nasty. And that's only a 3-drop.
That's a 3-drop to put out.
All right, so what about protection stuff? A lot of times enchantments can be busted. There's enchantment busters out there, but once it turns land, it changes a little bit because not everybody's got a huge land removal.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, not
huge.
a lot of. I mean, a little bit more. You're seeing more enchantment removal because of these flip cards.
A lot of it's going to be side deck stuff. So I mean, if you're playing in a tournament and they see you have this and you just totally melt them with it, then they're like, crap. So they're going to throw in some of their naturalize and some of their not braid. Well, I guess that's artifact, but other stuff that's in enchantment busters.
Yeah.
Which in turn you could, if you decided you wanted to protect that as a secondary, sideboard for this. Yeah, Renegade's Getaway, which is another one of my favorites because it doesn't protect just your simple creatures, all your permanents.
Yeah, Renegade's Getaway, I think,
Perfect
would be
sideboard.
really good for the sideboard.
All right, so protecting creatures. Are we going to look at
We're in
unnatural
green.
stamina and stuff?
When in green, we got to go Blossoming Defense.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed. So
For
4 of
sure.
those, just to be on the safe side, or go
Probably.
3, or shoot for 4, and then we'll see where we're at.
Well, let's see what else we could add. We've got, if this is our creature base, Deadeye Tracker, Tomb Robber, Lurking Chupacabra, the Archfiend, and you think this? That puts us at 20.
And well, you have him here still. So
Oh,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, 4, 5. That's 20 if they're all. We're doing all 4 of those.
So
And then 2 of those. Did you want to do the Hydra or leave it out? I mean, I know it was just an easy way to get a creature
it's
on the.
It's a 6/6. Does it do anything else?
It's got trample. 6/6 trample for 4 from the graveyard.
Okay.
And it's a required wasted discard card. It's something we can think about. I don't have to put it in there. I just like the idea that
I'm just
6/6
thinking,
trample is a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Which one do we take out?
You think 24 creatures is too much?
I think it's about right.
So if we take one out, we can minimize one of the other, or
we could just maybe take out one of these, and one of.
And do 3 Hydra, or do you just want to do 2?
Okay, just do 2 Hydras.
So take out one of those. So
take out one of each of these and put in the Hydra.
2 Hydras. And so you still got the good Explorer options and that, and plus the other ones.
And it only costs 4 to embalm it?
Mm-hmm.
That's badass.
I know. That's why when it popped up, I was like,
more expensive.
I was reading it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I know.
Second.
Yeah, it's 3 in the forest, embalm, trample. That's an excellent card from the graveyard, and I'm surprised it's not used more.
So that'd put us at 22.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, and then plus another 6. 22 plus 2 is 24 creatures.
Okay. And then we were looking at Journey to Eternity, Blossoming Defense.
Right.
Do you have that?
Ooh, we have a viewer. Hello.
Do you have that?
We love you.
Discovery, Journey to Discovery, or
Path of Discovery. Path of
Discovery. Why can't I remember that?
Guys, you're thinking of the other ones.
So if we go with that, what's another good black defense type spell?
Like protection. So obviously we can't go any more green. I mean, there's other green stuff out there, but it depends if you're going to hexproof it or if you want to give it strength to protect from a shock or a lightning strike. There's always those, which there's quite a few. I mean, what do you want to do? Or do you want to just protect it hexproof wise or indestructible wise?
Yeah.
I mean,
so that if they try and...
What's the unnatural stamina? Is that give it indestructible or...
No, that one makes it so that when it dies, it returns to the battlefield.
What's the other one then? There's another black one that does something where it like protects it, other than Renegade's Getaway, but that's.
Grab your phone.
Doesn't something give it a +2, or is that what unnatural stamina does?
That's what unnatural stamina does. It's a 1-drop black, gives it +2/+0, and then it's got the in quotations. When this creature dies, it returns to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, or whatever the case.
I'm guessing that's instant spell. It'd have to be. Could sorcery
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
apply.
gotta be instant.
All right, let me scroll down here. Should I type indestructible in there? There's not a hexproof one, is there?
I don't think there's another hexproof one. I can't think.
It's funny. It tried to make me spell Indianapolis.
Like you said, there's the Renegade's Getaway. That one's a 3-drop.
How do you spell destructible?
But I think you're right. That one needs to be a sideboard option for games 2 and 3. How do you spell what?
I can't even spell indestructible right now.
I'm gonna tell you wrong. Oh, IND.
I got it.
All right.
I realized there was an E instead of an O.
Ooh, it's a spelling bee.
Nah, there's not an indestructible card, so let me...
In green?
In black.
Well, there's at least one. There's Renegade's Getaway.
But the cost, I think, is... Well, why would that not come up? Oh, you know why? Because apparently I clicked the wrong one. So Renegade's Getaway. Rush of Vitality. 2-drop. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible end of turn.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Without weakness, also is a 2-drop. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. It has a cycle option, so we can use that as discard as well. It doesn't give any lifelink, which could be beneficial, but almost in the situation that you have, you're not gonna. The lifelink won't be as beneficial because they're probably trying to kill it, like with Fatal Push. Turn. So the lifelink is only there because if you're using it to put on it as you swing and block, you give it that extra 1, it gets life. I mean, that's something that's good too. So either one of those will work.
Yeah.
The discard option helps because, well, I guess it puts it in the graveyard. But that, you know what? We wouldn't play that from the graveyard anyway, so that doesn't matter. I guess Rush of Vitality is probably the best one. I mean, if we do happen to get,
well, if it's on our turn and they're trying to fatal push something as we attack or whatever, and we put that on there, then we're at least gonna gain that lifelink
yes, because
option.
you'll protect from the fatal push and then gain lifelink.
Because usually, if somebody's playing it right, they'll wait until you swing with something. They'll wait until the last minute to play that fatal push, and you.
Okay, I'll Rush Vitality the shit out of that.
All right.
Okay, so you want to go with 4 of those, or?
Let's see. We said we were at 24 creatures.
Yep.
And if we're trying to run 24 lands, that puts us at how many?
48.
That puts us at 48. So we need 12 other.
12 others, and so if we're doing 3 Journey to Discovery, 4 Blossom of Defense, 3 Path of Discovery.
Then we're outside of our.
That's putting us at 10 right there.
So we do 3 of each of these, 2
Rush of Vitality.
Rush of Vitality, and 4 Blossoming Defense.
Or do you want to do 3 and 3, or does it matter? Do you think this one's better to have out there because of its safety net?
I think this is for the price.
Yeah.
One
Rush of
drop.
Vitality is just there to assist. Is there anything else we could use? I mean, we're obviously going to have to rely on the Path or the Explorer to get more cards in hand. Obviously, land cards, and then get through the deck. I mean, because it'd be fine to an extent, because if we know we can play, we already got this in there. What else are we playing from the graveyard besides the ones that we discard? Do we have to use this to get them out? The Path or the Journey to Discovery or to Eternity?
Right now.
That's the only thing that can get our cards out of the graveyard. The only other one that can come out on its own is the Hydra.
Yeah.
So.
One of them that I looked at over the weekend was Liliana.
And that's the
Planeswalker from Amonkhet.
Yeah.
The +1 ability was create a 2/2 zombie creature token and put 2 cards in the graveyard or something like that. And then the second ability was a -3, return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, we're way up over our...
We're right now at the threshold mark. And since we've been putting ours at 60 cards, I always tend to trickle over to like 62 usually. If I'm supporting 24 lands, I risk it more than that, I guess. But it's not a huge difference. So if we're sitting solid at 60 cards, that's where we're going to be at.
Yeah, that's where we need to stay.
We're going 3, 3, 2, 4, and then the creatures are where they need to be. The only thing we can do is if we feel like we want something else additional, but you're only going to add 1 more to the Rush of Vitality if we drop another creature off. So I don't think it's really necessary. So yeah, we just go with that if you want to hold. I mean, like I said, the Journey to
maybe we could drop the
Rush of Vitality,
run 4 of these.
So that we know for sure we're going to have...
Because this is almost protection for our creatures, too. Because when they die, they come back.
Yeah, that's true.
And we get another benefit out of it. Is that... Yeah, the land part's legendary as well. But that would open us up a spot where we could...
But you can only play 1 of those. You can only have 1 of those on the field.
Yeah.
So if you would not be able to... You could play the other one, but then you'd have to lose 1.
But you can play... this on a creature, then it dies and flips,
and then the one you have out there,
then you can play another one.
Does it go in the graveyard when that happens, or does it exile?
Yeah. If you've already got one of these, it'd go in the graveyard. But once this flips, then you can play another.
Yeah, but then if that dies, then the land would have to go. One of those would have to go in the graveyard.
Right. Which wouldn't really matter. I mean, we're still going to have that ability available.
Yeah, at that point, it isn't that big of a deal. So
and if you play it right, if you late game and you've got the mana to do it, you could pay your 5. Return a creature to the graveyard from the graveyard to the battlefield. Play your next Journey to Eternity
on that creature.
On a creature.
Yeah.
I don't know what. No, I'm reaching.
I'm reaching
for straws.
Okay. Well, either way, we have our mode to get creatures from the graveyard. At least by this means. I don't expect to have a lot of creatures in the graveyard. I'm hoping maybe our intent is that the lands go in there more often than not because of the explore option. That's why we still have to have a decent amount of lands in this deck. You can't go too low on this one, that's for sure.
And if we wanted to drop this, maybe even for the benefit of putting in the excavator, so we could play those lands back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that option. Can.
I mean, I know that's a really good explore mechanic anyway.
It's a really kick to the throat if you get it to use 3 with all those combos out there with Path of Discovery and that.
Yeah.
That would be mean as hell. So we agreed on, I mean, should we go for, I mean, obviously we're going to go for with the 2, or do we drop one off of that? I think we dropped one of that off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was it this one we dropped down to 3 as well?
Yep. And then what do we add 2 of?
The Hydra, the one that you embalm for 4.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's not a requirement. I just think if we're going to have creatures or animal stuff in the graveyard, being able to play Davs back from the graveyard and have another one that's embalmed would be beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is cheaper, too, as well. This is only 5 as opposed to the 7 or the 6 it costs originally. The Hydra, if you choose to do it that way. But I don't know why you would.
Well,
okay.
Other than this right here, are there any other cards like these that get benefits when you explore, or was that it?
So I searched, but I can't remember what I didn't get. So we need creature, right? Creature, green, black, multicolored option as well. So green, black, creature. What the heck? I don't want that on there. Stuff that's getting checked that I want checked. I feel like I'm missing something. Let us know if we're missing something. We won't hate, appreciate.
That's the nice thing about this brainstorming process. It gets our brains working. We can start thinking about, okay, between now and the time we actually do the deck tech, what could we add? What could we do different? So if you guys have ideas, if you want to see us add something different to this than what we've got laid out here and what we've been talking about, just let us know. Because I'm sure we're missing stuff.
Okay, there's a menace that explores. It's a 4-drop Direfleet Interloper. Man, not so much.
It just explores?
Yeah, when it comes in. Emperor's Vanguard. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it explores. It's
yeah.
4/3, but you really have to find a way to get that to happen. A 4-drop, 4/3, the chance of you damaging with that card at that phase in the game is
That's what I found when I had my Explorer deck, was that I couldn't ever get that to punch through, because it didn't have trample, didn't have any evasion abilities.
You would have to be like a, key to the city and make it unblockable or do some stuff like that. But
yeah, and that's the nice thing I think about the Tomb Robber. I'm glad we got that one, because it's got the menace. That's a nice evasion ability, especially when you start negating your opponent's creatures with these. You'll either kill off their creatures or make them so small that once he's pumped up from exploring a few times, you might be able to get through. I like the way this is turning out.
Okay, well, what were we going with? If you want to do the Hydra, the Remunap, and get, not the Hydra, the Remunap Excavator, and get him to be able to play creature or lands, is that something you'd like, or do you want to not work with that angle?
Maybe. I mean,
the only thing I would say is maybe drop this down to 3 instead of 4. It's a great card, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
At 5, I know we have to have a mana curve, but we
could probably even drop both of these down.
And then throw in 2 of the excavators.
Yeah.
So we'd have 2 sets of 2.
Maybe skip the Hydra, the Honored Hydra. Keep those at 4. Drop these 3 to 3, and then add in 3 of the Excavator. And then always try and use, with this discard ability, always try and make it a land.
Yeah.
So that we could keep playing lands.
Does it allow you to play an extra land too, or just
no, not an extra, but every turn that you don't have a land, if we've got one in the graveyard, we can play it from there.
That probably makes it better. Pans out better in that case.
So if we go,
the funny part though is you explore and you're trying to, because you don't get the counter, which sucks. You'd lose the counter, but you do what? you discard a card, and it explores. So
yeah, it explores. You draw a land. You can discard that land and explore again.
Well, the land has to go in your hand, but you could use it next time for the discard option. So you've already discarded a land during that explore. It goes in your hand, then you discard it. So that we're saying you get to pay it right then and there.
Yeah, I'm saying when you do the explore, if what you reveal is a land, it goes in your hand. You can pay another one and discard that land to explore again.
Yeah.
You get another land, pay another one, discard it, explore again until you get something you want.
And then if you did have the excavator out there, you could play that land for turn still.
Right.
Okay, that's probably a better option. Okay.
I hadn't even thought of the excavator until we started talking today, and that makes sense. Especially since we're running 24 lands, we're gonna hit them sometimes.
You're gonna hit pots of lands and be like, okay, I don't need these right now.
Right.
And that's why I happen dropping that one, like I said, dropping some of these down to 3, because if you're going to be run through lands early on with the 1-drops, where's the other guy? He's not out here, but the tracker, the 1-drop. So, he is out there. Where's the other one? Oh, right in front of me. I was thinking 1-drop for both of these, but he's a 3-drop. This is what you confused me with the 1. Pay 1 is what it was.
So we do 4, 4, 4. That's 12, 13, 14, 15,
21.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, 24. That still puts us at 24 creatures.
And then we still have protection, at least 4 protections.
Yeah,
they're gonna kill some of us. You can't
those.
protect your everything, so you got to try to be able to protect it occasionally. 4 of the Journey to Eternity.
Yeah.
And then 4 Path of Discovery.
24. Yeah, that'd work.
And that's 4, 4, and 4. Were we not? You said that we were dropping off the other one, right?
What's the other one?
The one that. The other save card, the indestructible one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so
and just replace it with those.
So 24 and 24 and then 12, so we're just going to go with that and then see how it runs.
Yeah, I'll put it together, maybe bring it in tomorrow or the next day and
Check
play
it on
with
video.
it.
Of course, this is still brainstorming. This doesn't always mean this is how this is going to go. We could play a couple games and decide that maybe, obviously we can come up with a sideboard option. We've already got some ideas for that. But maybe what we have is a little bit, we're missing something, and so we could
Everything sounds good in theory.
Yeah, and then we'll come up with some adjustments more than likely, or can come up with some adjustments, and then hopefully have a final product for you on Thursday for our deck tech video.
And then I kind of already grabbed the lands when I was thinking about it at home. You got the...
Do you need another one of those?
No, I got them.
You got enough Journey to Eternities?
Oh, I don't know about the Journey. The what? No, I've got all 4 of those. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Foul Orchard. Green black enters
slow
the
land,
tab,
but
then got 4 copies of the Blooming Marsh too.
But it's okay. You can play all that stuff.
And then I think maybe 4 copies of this If Near Deadland's a good one.
And what does it do again?
It's the pay 4, sacrifice a desert, and put 2/-1 counters on opponent's creature.
Yeah,
so it's just
you got them out there, and they can be used for black.
Between those 4
colorless
and these creatures here, I think that's going to give us a decent amount of removal.
And piss your opponent off. Yeah, this is true. Okay.
So it looks like we need to get to at least turn 4 before we can get this whole
thing rolling,
train chugging down the tracks. But
it might seem kind of slow because those fast decks are a pain, but
I'd almost hold off, I think, on doing your explore options with these 2 cards
until you get what you need.
Until you can get like something out there, even if it's just the Wild Growth Walker. Wait until that's out there to get a benefit from the explorer, other than just the fact that you're exploring.
Yeah.
Once you get to like 3 mana.
Yeah, I mean, if you can draw these 2 early on, both in starting hand, that's on round 2. That's turn 3, and he automatically is a 3/5, which is going to keep you away from most damage spells. Not obviously kill spells, but it'll
as long as you don't hit lands.
Yeah.
And even if you do,
no, it doesn't matter if you hit lands for him. He automatically gets a counter.
This
one is the one. This one will lose. So you'll gain your life. So that's a heck of a nice starting hand.
I keep forgetting that these are going to trigger whether you hit. Whatever you hit, whenever something explores. So that's real.
Yeah, these trigger no matter what. The only time the explore counts for counters is for that creature specific. They get the counter or not. If they explore, period, trigger, boom. So yeah.
And I think with what we've got as far as explore cards, it's better to have the 2 options for these, because we'll have multiple options and less options with this one, because this is the only card that's making us discard right now.
Mm-hmm.
So these are going to combo together well, but sometimes, you know, he won't be out there, so this won't matter, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
I like it.
Okay, so there's our pretty much most of our brainstorming. I don't know if we got anywhere else to brainstorm on this one. We've I've said kind of twice in a row.
Kind of.
We've pretty much got the idea of what this deck is going to be. Just in this, how long has this video been going on? 30 minutes? 40 minutes? I don't know exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know either. 40 minutes. 40 minutes and some change. So, not bad. I guess we'll, like I said, play it, put it together, play tomorrow, the next day. We got a few days. You play tomorrow if we got them all. Play it on Wednesday so I can get around with it, and then we'll showcase it on Thursday.
Yeah, I might even be able to get them all together tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, let me know. We got cards to sift through. I got tons of stuff. So.
All right.
Cool, man.
Hey, thanks for watching. I don't think we had any live watchers, but somebody will watch it eventually. So, thanks for taking the time, and let us know what you might change, what you might add, and maybe we can get it into the deck tech on Thursday if you do it before then. And I'll tell you what, if you make a good recommendation that makes more sense than what we've got going on here, I'll make sure to give you credit for that when we do the deck tech.
Yes, we will.
Unless you're on witness protection, then I won't.
Yeah. we'll just say Jim Bob.
Yeah, Jim Bob in Oklahoma. Yeah, thanks for watching. I know we're up a couple more subscribers. We're over halfway to our first the
giveaway.
First giveaway for the first box we opened. At 100 subscribers, we'll be giving away cards from that. So keep it going. We appreciate it, and we'll check you out tomorrow, the next day, whenever.
Alrighty. Deuces. Get her hand down there. I can't see it. So
Deuces.
Deuces.
Oh, it's not live on the phone I'm watching over here.
Like you got too close and it was all up in there. Like,
oh gosh, I don't know how to turn it off now. God.